we're heading into Division 3 anyway, so I will shout out the results while you're away dealing with the young one. So Marwick Head, Division 3, here we go. This is, you're looking at relegation here as well now, so there's that. We seed it in the back of the headers, don't get relegated. But Bonnyrig Cheeseheads, they've got off to a good start with a 216 point against the Bluetown Texans, 142. The Cavite Porkers, our very own Pork, got off to a flying start with 192 points, beating the Birmingham Bears 174. We had the Guildford Raptors scoring 221 against the Manchester Spinners 169. Then the Norwich Mustard Men had it up with 231 against the Knockouts of 151. We had the London Eagles getting just over 200, beating the Lagersville Lemons 133. And finally, the Darlington Dragons, 218 points against Dobos Darlow Diamonds. If I remember correctly, Dobos Darlow Diamonds had this kind of luck last year as well, and over 200 points, but sadly getting the loss. And outside of that one, all the over 200s won and all the under 200s lost in this division. So it's certainly...
Well, Port got a big win, I see.
192.
There he is, there's Port's team. Let's go through it then. Let's have a look at...
Let's have a look and see the mistakes he's made. I mean, Caleb Johnson's a funny one for me. Where are you at with that? I mean, I drafted him a lot of places, but it seems to me that Rodgers doesn't like him, and what Rodgers gets, he needs to learn how to block.
I think he's going to be a second half of the season guy. See if I see anyone drop him, I'll be picking him up because I think he might be a playoff guy, maybe.
Yeah, me too.
But I think he will be. I could see him getting dropped by people because I don't think, see the first 4 games, I think it's going to be bits and bobs here and there, I really do. And that will make people can drop him, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to be down at the... I think a lot of people drop him after week 2, week 3 when he's not getting many touches. And like you, I'm going to be watching for it. It's there you go. There's Port sticking his own quarterback, sticking Dak on the bench. That's you draft him to play him. Surely, if you're going to draft your own quarterback, your own team, you got to play him. You big chicken.
Why draft
him then? Why draft him then? Why draft him then?
It's Pork. I mean, nobody can get into the mind of Pork and for it to make sense. I tell you what. See this Jonathan Taylor, right? So that won my a couple of decisions. 2 things won my matchup, right? I played Swift over Josh Downs. That won my matchup for me. But what also won my matchup for me is I was up against Jonathan Taylor. See, after 1 quarter or 2 quarters, Jonathan Taylor had like 18 points. He was like, and then he went out injured though. And honestly, see if Jonathan Taylor had played that whole game.
They sat him down. He didn't go out injured. They had it in the bag and they gave Giddens a run out. He's absolutely fine. No injury, no nothing.
I heard that he had like a niggle, and that's why they just did it like precautionary. That's why I heard they thought he had a niggle, but I could be wrong. But anyway, him getting benched, what won me, and probably maybe Port here as well, it won me my matchup because I think Taylor was going to hit 40 points. I really do think he would have hit 40 points.
He was going along great gun, but the thing is, the leagues that I've got, man, I've actually picked up Giddens and most of them in the draft, to cover for him. And what did please me was Giddens did come in and look very good as well, for the touches that he got. I thought he looked pretty decent. So, I'm not as worried about getting a JT injury as I was before, maybe, but yeah, I need him to be getting the ball a lot more. But then they're not going to be winning 33-8 every week. They're not going to play the Dolphins every week, unfortunately, for the Colts fans, But JT's going to be, I think he's going to be just as much involved as he always has been. What worries me in this team is Cooper Kupp. That's a big alarm bell for me. He did not look like the old Cooper Kupp of old. I think he's finished.
What happened with Chase? Like, I'll be honest, I've not had a chance to look back yet. Was he just double man? Was he taking the game, or was the game plan just to run the ball? Or
it wasn't even. It was the fact that they're up against a very, very solid defense in the Cleveland Browns, and it was the Bengals be the Bengals, don't they? It's week 1. When did the Bengals ever do well in week 1?
No.
So, this is a typical Bengals. Burrow didn't get going, so none of them got going. I mean, it wasn't like T. Higgins had all the catches or anything. Nobody did. Noah Fant got the touchdown, the only touchdown throw went to Noah Fant. So, yeah, the Bengals just didn't get going, really, to be honest, was the problem. I think the problem was he didn't have the ball much either. I think the Browns pretty much done very well in keeping the ball away from out of Burrow's hands. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing to worry about. Chase is going to be absolutely fantastic this year, and once Burrow gets rolling, they'll be knocking the points in left, right, and centre. So yeah, I wouldn't be worried there. But I mean, Pork's got a couple to worry about as well. I mean, Jaden Reed there as well. Jaden Reed's for us. He's carrying the foot injury and he's going to be carrying it all season long. And I'm just not sure how involved he's going to be. He is not going to be on the field in 2 receiver sets. He just isn't. We'll put Wicks out there before we put him out wide. He has the slot and the slot only. So it's only 3 receiver sets. He's going to see the field. And if our defence is doing what it done week 1, we'll run the ball a lot.
I think that's the only saving grace for Jaden Reed. Like, I've got him in maybe one league or something, but it's because he plays the slot. Like, that is what will kind of maybe let him put some points up. You know what I mean? He might just get enough receptions every week to give you flex worthy. Like, I wouldn't be stuck. Like, he'll not be. I'd be highly surprised if he's ever better than like a second flex guy. You know what I mean? I think playing him in your second flex, I think you'll maybe get away with that this season. It just depends. You're right. It just depends on his injury. I wouldn't be relying on him. But if you've got him and he's healthy, he's probably worth playing, to be honest.
I mean, you can stick him in the flex spot, and he is going to score you some points from time to time. There's no getting away from it. But I wouldn't be comfortable if he was like my number 1 or number 2 receiver. That would make me feel very uncomfortable with the team that I have going forward.
Let's see this Lagersville Lemons. That must be one of the lowest scores on Orkney this week, 133. And he got 50 points for Josh Allen, so the rest of his team scored 80 points.
What's Josh Allen? That's Breece Hall as well. They're at 23. I mean, literally, we can only see 2 players, and he's already on 73 points. So there's not a whole lot going on underneath that. I'm going to go with Worthy starting. I'm going to go with Kittle starting. I'm going to go with. There's
Hunter's got some points. Oh, I mean, Harris,
Thielen. Because he'll start getting defensive points soon enough.
Oh, Andrews, by the way, Andrews is a dud. He's just not involved with the Ravens.
I mean, it's a.
To be fair, I'll be honest, he's been really unlucky.
That we see, because it's week 1.
He's been unlucky with his IDPs there. If Johnny goes back up to his IDPs. See Franklin, he's normally 20, 25 points. See Spillane last season, he was 18 to 22 points. He's been really unlucky with his IDPs there. That's really unlucky. Spillane's the one you want to watch though, because he is on a new team. So it just depends where they're going to use him. But everyone does think he will be used. Yeah, they think he'll be used the same as what he was last year, to be honest, people think. But you just don't know until it actually happens. So, but that's where I do feel sorry for him. His IDPs, he's just unlucky there. That's his bad week for those two, and he's got them both,
Even if they pick, I've got to say, I mean, every team that we look at, as I say, it's week 1, and you've either won or you've lost. That's why there's no point going in and looking at the league or anything like that. The 6 teams that won are top of the league, the 6 teams that lost are bottom of the league, blah, blah. But I mean, what worries me here is you've got Rice, you've got Godwin, and you've got Mixon all there. Do you think, where are you sitting with Mixon? I don't think he's going to play this year. I think Mixon's finished.
Well, in the preview show, I just remembered I brought up that team actually. Those 3 players missing. I said this is going to be a relegation team, I thought. So it looks like it's maybe going that way. But with the Mixon thing, I've got Mixon in a couple of places, so I'm just praying come week. Even if he misses 8 games, maybe he'll come back I'm praying he's back for the second half of the season, to be honest. I think what will maybe hang it, see if the Texans keep losing games, though. I think if the Texans keep losing games, I think they'll maybe push for Mixon to play, though, to be honest, because, you know what I mean? It's not like they can just accept a bad season, they're in that. Texans are in a place now where they need to make the playoffs, Like, them just having a down year isn't acceptable.
Absolutely, and they weren't brilliant last year, despite, they weren't brilliant last year by any manner of means. I mean, this is a big year for CJ Stroud for the Texans. He's got to show that he is that guy that showed up year one. Last year he was terrible, and they've got to kick on from there. And they did not look good again. I mean, I know they were playing the Rams in LA, not an easy place to go, but they did not look good on Sunday. They really did not. So I mean, at the end of the day, but see if they do end up 2-6 after 8 games and Mixon's about ready to come back, are they going to say no, it's okay? We'll just we'll run with what we've got now because we're not winning anything this year. That's my worry for Mixon as well. They're going to have to start coming good. Stroud specifically is going to have to start coming good. And what really, really worries me about the Texans is that O-line is awful. And if you're not protecting the quarterback, you can't expect much from them.
I know, and it was bad last year, and so what they did, it wasn't bad, it underachieved last year, so they blew it up, and so obviously this year they were more confident, and so far it's not looking that way. But the thing with Mixon is, I think, though, this is going to be his last year, and well, definitely with the Texans, I think. I don't think they'll keep him after this year, and it might be his last year in the NFL, who knows what this injury brings, but that's why I do think if he's healthy,
absolutely,
they will just use him.
Johnny,
I think they will just use him.
Take me down, go back at Take me down to IR slots, Johnny. Sorry, just with this IR slots. Keep going down.
I don't know if it lets
I
you
just
go
want to
that
see
far
if
down.
Lemony Fresh has got his IR slots in play, because if he doesn't, certainly go and get Mixon into IR, go and get Godwin into IR. There's guys sitting about in agency ready to be picked up. So that's what I would be saying. Get them into IR if they're not already in IR and get some more players in there.
Yeah, I don't think it can on the PC app. I don't think it shows. Like, they might be in there, but it doesn't show you on this, if you know what I mean. So yeah, but Craig's right. If you've got players that are injured, get them on IR. Suspension doesn't work, but I think IR does. Obviously, injuries do work. So you get those guys into the IR.
Both on there.
And the Darlow Diamonds, like you said at the top, Craig, just really unlucky. I mean, you scored 203 points, you're going to be a playoff team. So, Mark, if you do that again every week, you'll be fine. Yeah, so Lemony Fresh. Port needs to speak to his friend to get his guys onto the IR.
Indeed. But yeah, I mean, Dobbo's nothing to worry about in that sense. He's got a bit to worry about this week because Daniels is going to get mulled up in Green Bay. But you've scored over 200 points, you're doing fine, and you've got two running backs here that are going to have much better weeks going forward. Smith as well in Philadelphia. I mean, both Smith and Brown, they were both awful. So you got to think that there's going to be better weeks ahead for the two of them. I pray there's better weeks ahead for the two of them because I'm quite big on them. But I love Ed Booker. I think he's going to have a massive season in Tampa. I think by the time Godwin and McMillan come back, he's going to be so far away and gone as the number 2 that he's probably the number 1, even ahead of Evans.
Well, the only problem is it's just they paid all that money to Godwin. That would be my only concern. Like, I agree with McMillan. I think, look, McMillan, he's a solid player in that, but I think he will just be a wide receiver 4 in that team. I wouldn't consider him a blockage for a Booker, but Godwin is the one where they've just paid him, and I think he's getting paid into next year as well. So he will get he's going to get opportunities because they've paid him, So that will happen. But that's honestly, I'm looking at the team that lost here on the left, and it's like the only players that let him down really was Devonta Smith and Loveland. So it's just really, you know what I mean? He's just really unlucky. He's walked into a juggernaut on the other side, you know. I mean, Mahomes scored 31 points.
It definitely happens, that you just run into bigger scores from time to time, and that's just the way it goes. You've got to live with it and move on. But as long as you're scoring points, as I say, it'll always come good in the end.